Moving on to Ethiopia, the number of refugees fleeing the northern Tigray region of Ethiopia, where federal and regional forces are engaged in fighting, has reduced drastically after soldiers were deployed to the border with Sudan. At least at the Hamdayet border crossing point, local media reports there has been testimonies from the refugees who say their relatives are being blocked from leaving Ethiopia. Across the river that straddles the border, about a dozen soldiers stand at intervals on hilltops looking into the direction of Tigray. Boats parked on both sides of what is usually a busy crossing point are largely unused. Dozens of refugees have gathered to look at the newly deployed federal soldiers on the Ethiopian side of the border. Others, both refugees and Sudanese, have been down to the river to fetch water or wash. A group of children have been swimming and playing in the water, but mystery lies in the land beyond this river. An information blackout in Tigray has meant that separated families have been unable to communicate. Human Rights Watch, quoting refugees who have recently arrived in Sudan, has reported that Ethiopian soldiers have been blocking civilians in Humera, about 20 kilometers from the border, which it says has resulted in a massive drop in the number of refugees reaching Sudan. Data from the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, UNHCR, shows that new refugee numbers peaked around 10 November, with more than 6,800 people crossing into Sudan in a single day. The average number arriving daily has been 3,000, officials told the media. However, since Ethiopian troops were deployed along the border, the number has dropped to about 700 a day. An 11-year-old girl was among those who arrived before refugee movement was restricted. She fled alone from her grandmother's home, where she had heard gunfire. Her grandmother was too old to run. Father and daughter were reunited at the Rakua refugee camp on Wednesday. Her father, who walked around the camp protectively holding her hand, said she had witnessed people getting shot. In just 3 weeks, more than 43,000 refugees have fled into Sudan, according to UNHCR, and aid agencies have been struggling to keep up with the rising numbers.